How about you? How you been? Kill any owls lately? Kevin Smith, owl puncher.
I've been ridiculed so much for that.
Well, because you're a criminal against nature. That's why.
No, man. But I'm telling you, I talked about it on K-Rock's Kevin and Bean when I went in the morning. It fucking happened. It was
an exclusive. We broke that story.
We did, man. You guys did, and my adrenaline was fucking just running high and shit. The PS to that story, and I told it I think on the Jay and Silent Bob Good Old podcast, but I went home and my wife had been sleeping. So I fucking tell her the fucking story.
Right.
And what do you think her reaction is? How the fuck could you hit that bird?
I was going to think, oh my God, you big white hunter, you, and then she rolled you over and just made sweet, sweet love to you.
Right? Wouldn't you imagine?
Yes.
You tell me
what
that
a man.
story. If you told me that story, and then I punched an owl and saved a little dog.
Right.
I'd be like, oh my God.
That's why I would never tell you that story.
She was not appreciative at all, man. She wasn't impressed. I thought she'd be
It'd be like a Tarzan Jane moment. There you are battling the elements, taking on wild animals.
That is the most masculine thing I will ever do.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't good enough for that bitch.
Hitting an owl with a semi-deflated pool toy was the most masculine thing you'll ever do. Think about what you just said.
That's my Conan moment, dude.
Is that the sound of punching the owl right there? Can I hear that again? There we go. Yeah.
Shouldn't there be a here? Do it again.
Ooh. What, you punch Ed Wynn? Oh! Oh my goodness! A guy in a hockey jersey just hit me in the face.
I wish the owl spoke like that, man.
Well, for those of you quickly who haven't heard the story, it sounds like most of you have. Either you heard it on Kevin and Bean or you heard it on, I guess you guys did it with Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob Good Old. There was
but just
a
quick version of the
I got
story.
a dachshund, Shecky. I've talked about her a lot.
Right.
I've got this deck in my house where the dogs go out and stuff. We don't have a yard, just like a top deck. Very exposed over by Runyon Canyon. And letting the dogs out, two older dogs go into the back. The one little dog's trolling around by the pool and stuff. She's cold. She doesn't like to go too far from the house in the morning. She's got no fucking fur to speak of. So every time I open the door to let her out in the morning, she's like, "You're kidding."
Again?
Yeah, seriously. Why don't you just let me piss here? And so she's out, and I always accompany the dog out because once when she was very little, and I let her out for one of the first times, I looked up and I saw this low-flying hawk, and I'd never seen something like that before. I was like, why is there a bird of prey around here? And then I looked at the dog. I was like, oh, shit. It was swirling close to her. So ever since then, I go out on the deck whenever she takes a leak. So I go out on the deck this morning, as per usual, and I'm kind of waking up. I waked and baked anyway, so it's kind of stoked.
What a shock.
But I was stretching and whatnot, and I'm kind of looking this way. And then as soon as I turn back, my eyes are focusing, and I saw something. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was wafting at me. Is that a word?
Wafting.
Yeah. It was just, really it was gliding, but wafting sounds cooler. It was just kind of descending like this. It wasn't doing this shit. I didn't even think it was a bird at first. I thought it was a kite, and I was like, who's
Shecky's flying a kite?
No, not Shecky, one of the other dogs. But I was just like, who would be fucking flying a kite at 5:30 in the morning? It was still kind of dark and shit, and I was like, Ben Franklin discovered electricity, and he must have had to do it at night. This is all happening in a split second, you know? But anyway, by the time I fucking kind of focus, I realized that it's an owl, and he's just kind of gliding in like this, and not like one of them cute Harry Potter owls do. This one looked fucking fierce. This one was just had it was dark color. It looked like he'd been in some street fights and shit.
This was an urban owl.
No. More like the crystal methed out owl.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He was meth mouth.
Wasn't one of those Guardians of Gahuli owls or something. One of those nice owls.
He was a guardian something, and it was fucking meth because he was looked like he was coming at me. I was like, this bird's fucking nuts, man. Again, this is all split second. And then I realized he's kind of coming like this. So he's far away, but he's coming at my head, but then descending. So I'm like, oh my God, this bird's heading for my fucking dick. And then I realized...
You wish.
I pull out my fucking camera. I'm like, this is going to be the biggest fucking YouTube clip ever.
An owl blew me.
I'm fucking going to beat that Gangnam style shit. Oh, my God. Look at him suck. Didn't happen, sadly. I noticed he was going down, 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 and then I realized that he was going to be going for my dog, Shecky, this little dachshund, miniature dachshund. She's not even facing the owl, so it's not even like she was a warning system of just like, bark, bark, bird of prey, bark, bark, or anything like that. She was facing the porch like, can we go back in, please? Not knowing that this thing was like, I'm going to eat this fucking clueless dog. But I when I finally registered, everything put together, man, it's like I had a moment of fight or flight, and as you all know, I've got the flight instinct down to a science. That's my thing, and so immediately I'm trying to figure out how to offer this bird head to leave us alone and shit. But instead of going all kind of...
And the bird pulls out its camera, and it's going to videotape you sucking its bird cock.
Oh, this is going to be awesome on CooTube. So anyway, fuck it. I've got like a split second. Instead of running, which my wife laid around, she goes, why didn't you just grab the dog and run? And I'm like, what the fuck kind of move is that? Like, and where would I go? Because the bird was still coming,
Into the pool.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I was just like, come on. It was like that Batman moment in Dark Knight Returns. Oh, hurling myself through plate glass, but instead it's the pool and shit. Yeah. And she would freak because I'm holding her underwater. I know how to hold my breath, but she'd be like, you're drowning us, you fat pig. It's just a bird, you fucking... So I had a split second, man, and I talked about there's this pool toy that was kind of like floating in my pool, had been floating there for months. Every month I looked at it, and I was just like, I gotta take this out of the fucking pool. Nobody really goes in the pool. It just looks so sad. Looked like that stupid bag in American Beauty and shit.
Yeah,
just
right.
Floating around. I was like, look at its inner life. And it had an inner life, man, because it was there for me when I needed it.
It was an inner tube, so it had an inner life. Thank you so much.
Doesn't beat CooTube. Anyway.
Are we keeping score now? Is that how it works?
Not at all. You're the master. So I'm standing there, owl coming this way, dog facing that way. I honestly, I think I didn't even think about grabbing the dog because the dog's so low to the ground, that would have required me to bend over.
Right, yeah.
This didn't. The pool toy was kind of sticking up because it's this round thing that you sit in, and it's padded all around, so I guess, you could, if you're a thinner person, you could twirl it in the water. If you're a fat person, you sink to the bottom, and like, this isn't fun at all. I don't know how I know that, but just trust me. So it's been sitting there, it's lost some air, it's kind of deflated, but it's still tall. So that was the only thing within reach, and I swear to you, man, I grabbed this this is so fucking strange. Even when I think about it now, I'm like, nothing this cool will ever happen to me again, man. Nothing. I grab the fucking pool toy, and I go like this. I totally shut my eyes.
I would leave that part out next time you tell the story.
No, man, I was just like turned off my targeting computer and shit. I was like Beyonce taking out the earpiece, man. I was just like, I'm going to do this by sense. Ba-bap! And I connected man, pool toy to fucking avenging bird. Hit this fucking bird like it was a fucking 1,000,001 shot, man. Like, give me the Death Star, I'm ready. And this bird glances, fucking goes bang. There's two long pool chairs that are on the deck. Bang, he hits it and goes straight the fuck off. When he banged on the chair, that's when the dog was like, oh, what's going on? And noticed like a fucking bird within range, and she was like, ow, 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 which was amazing because she went from fucking would-be prey to sudden predator.
Right.
And I was just like, this is nuts. Like, this is fucking nature at its finest. And now I'm a part of it, man. Yeah. I entered the food chain with a pool toy. So this fucking
just
thing,
as nature intended.
This thing takes off into the sky, man, and I'm watching it and shit. Like, it goes up and it's kind of circles back, and I think it's gonna fucking come back and shit. I'm ready like fucking Kevin Costner in Waterworld and shit. Just come on! And fucking had the pool toy and was ready to swing again. And I was going to keep my eyes open this time.
Yeah.
But this motherfucker banked left and went over Runyon and then was just gone. And so it was fucking so strange. And then when I was on the Kevin and Bean show, Bean was just like, aren't you sad that the dog's never going to remember that? And I was like, what you son of a bitch.
You ruined it for you, didn't you?
I thought we'd always have that. I thought, like, as the dog would just cuddle a little closer, just be like, oh, you fucking took a bullet for me, man. Yeah. You punched an owl in its fucking face. Like, because I must have looked heroic to that. If she just would have looked a little sooner.
Yeah.
Like, she likes me because I'm always like, treats and fucking rub your belly and let's go out for a walk and shit like that. But this would have taken the cake and whatnot. She just would see me be like, fuck your owls, bang, and fucking... That dog, that would have been a hero to that dog for
Yeah.
all time. But now she's just like, oh, we went out the other morning. That's it.
I heard something.
Stupid. Anyway, that was the owl story.